morning. Oh, I swear, this is either a Monday or one of those rains it pours days. Um, yeah, a pipe on the hot water heater busted last night. Yeah, that's made a mess. And so in our house is so old that uh there's there's only one shut-off valve for the water. Now, granted, over time, we changed out a sink, so we put a shut-off valve for the hot and cold water at the sink. Changed the bathroom sink out, hot and cold. We're adding valves as we go. But, yeah, there's no extra valve for the hot water heater. Good morning, everybody. Uh, so right now, I am living in a waterless house. We have no water. Um, And if anybody's ever been through that, good morning, Gail. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Doug. So if anybody's ever been through that, it's not fun. And then to top it all off, and it's a good thing I keep spares. Um, Not only did my primary keyboard stop working, so did my primary mouse. So it's a good thing, like I said, that I have spares. Um, Not the best circumstance because you're coming into something and you're just changing a bobbin. Good morning, Cindy. Um, who else is there? Jesse, good morning. Um, so yeah, I have spares. That's a good thing. Uh, my biggest fear, knock on wood, and I don't dare knock on wood. That'll wake the dogs up. Somebody knock on wood for me. Knock on wood for me. Okay, so. So this morning, we're going to do this. Then I have to run out and get a water heater. I have a friend who's going to help install it. Go out and get a water heater. Um, have to stop. I got so much to do. This was not my plan for Saturday, water heater. But here, let's just set all of that aside because that does not relate to what we're doing here today. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Cindy's knocking on wood for me. Here, here we go. She's knocking on wood. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, so what are we going to do today? Well, I don't know if you've seen them, but there's these shirt front designs that use a big letter that's appliqued, and then the name is running vertical with a cutout into the letter. Looks really, really cool. Um, but everything I've seen about it says you need to start by building it in a graphic software, and they're suggesting like your Cricut design tool. Good morning, Diane. Your Cricut design tool or your Silhouette. But I'm going to show you how to do it in your digitizing software. Good morning, Barb. Good morning. So this is what we're going to do. And I chose an H Huskies because, a lot of what I'm seeing is like school related, you know, sports team related. And my high school team was the Harlem Huskies. Huskies forever. Of course, that was like over 40 years ago. So, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to make a big letter, whole shirt front letter, and then we're going to write out whatever name text, and it doesn't have to be on the right side. It can be, let me just flip and flip. It can be on the left side. It can be that was a bit much. Well, actually, that looks kind of cool, doesn't it? It can be across the bottom. This is your design, so you make it however you want it. I'm just going to, I know, Cindy, it's fun. I am just going to show you how to do it. Alrighty? Going back to the beginning here. There we are. There it is. Okay, so here's what I thought we would do. Don't want to use Harlem Huskies again. So I thought we would do Bella. Most of you know that Bella is my 3-year-old Chihuahua doggy, and who is right now sleeping in the little doggy bed with her baby sister Donna. And I was kind of undecided as to which one of these to do. You guys tell me, do you like... Oh, wait, where did it go? Do you like number 1 or number 2? Your choice. Remember, I'm working with a mouse that I am not familiar with. So things are going to be a bit sketchy today. What do you think? And while we're waiting for the consensus, Doug, B on number 2. Yeah, I like that B also. Doug, you were asking in one of the groups earlier today about using user-defined splits and the stamping carving tool. I did a coffee and conversation a few weeks ago on that, and I think it was pretty detailed in how to use each part of the tool. So give me a holler if you got any questions. All right. Looks like we're gonna go, Cindy. If we do the B on number 2, do you want to do the lettering from number 1? I think that looks good. Jesse, number 2. Number 2. Janice likes number 1. Janice, would it be okay if we did the B on number 2 and the Bella on number 1? What do you think? Sweet. All right. Ta-da! Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to make our B big. Thanks, Janice. Thank you. So we want to make the B. Now this is all going to be dependent on your hoop size. I know I can do an 8-inch tall B. All right, let's make this fit the screen. Now, yes, this is a satin currently. Don't worry about that. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to break this apart. We're going to highlight all of our parts of our B and change it to a tatami fill. Then we're going to make sure that all of the parts overlap, which is important. Good, because we are going to merge them all. And just because I'm fussy this way, I'm going to get rid of the stitch angle because it, And don't worry about the split here, okay? Now, I'm going to change the color of our B because we're done with the B at this point. Now we have Bella. And we're going to decide where we're going to put Bella. Good morning, Letty. Good morning. So yeah, just to catch you up, Letty, we picked out a letter for our full front, and we made it big. You know what? Yeah, this should work. So we made it big. Now we're trying to decide where we want to put Bella's name. We can run her across the bottom. Yay. Thing we need to remember though is if we're going to use a satin, we need to measure our column. So go back to millimeters, measuring tool. Oh, see that measure is 11 inches, 11 millimeters. That's too wide. We're not going to be able to use this, Bella. We're going to have to find a different lettering for Bella. Something thinner. What does this one do for us? No, I don't like that one. It looks choppy. Nope, don't like that one either. We want something pretty. Because Bella is pretty. Oh, Cindy look at Cindy's picture with the babies. Cindy wants to see how to do it on the right and on the left. Cindy, you're going to be surprised. It's basically the same thing, both sides. Script 6. Let's go back to script 6. Script. Oh, I do like that one. Letty likes. Letty says script 6 too. So let's go ahead and measure that one. Measure. Oh, that one is perfect. Okay. So we're going to because this is perfect size. We don't want to go any larger. We could maybe stretch it a little bit. See what happens if we stretch a little bit. Yeah, that might work. Let's remeasure. It's a bit much, but it can work. Okay. And we're going to take this B. We're going to take this B and move it in just a little bit. Yeah, maybe we should have them all connecting. That's exactly what I'm doing. Cindy wants to know if I'm going to kern before I start. Yep, that's what I'm doing right now. And you don't have to. If you like the way the letters are sitting as they come up, you don't have to change it. I just want it to look like it's all part of a script. Now, do our underlay, edge run, and I like to make sure we've got a good base. So I'm going to use the tatami, and then I'm going to use, I'm going to take off the auto split, and then we're going to fit again. I'm going to take my name and I'm going to turn it. And what do you think? Right about there, everybody? Does that look good? Remember, there's going to be a cutout. We're going to balloon it. You know what I mean when I say I'm going to balloon it? And Cindy, again, this is whatever I do on the left, you can do on the right, on the top, and on the bottom. You can do it anywhere you want. You could do it across the middle. All right. Thanks, Letty. Letty likes it, says it looks good. So we're going to highlight, or we're going to select our name object. We're going to come over here to our outlines and offsets. We don't want to create an outline. We do want to create an offset. Now, here's the choice. We don't want to do a satin. We want to do run stitches. We want to do run stitches because we want to see what's going on. Now, you can do one at a time. That's not a problem. I'm going to do 3. And what that means is that for every additional run stitch, for every additional offset, it's going to offset from the previous line. So this first one will be 1.5 millimeters, then it'll be another 1.5, and then it will be another 1.5. And based on that, we're going to decide which one we like. So 1.5. Don't worry about any of the middle stuff because that's not going to be important to us. My screen needs to be over just a little bit. Okay. Does that help? I just kind of made it a little smaller. Okay, so let's just go back. We're going to just go back. So we're going to select our letter, excuse me, our name object. We're going to go to the offset, and there are 2 of them, depending on which elements you have. Thanks, Cindy. You can use the simple offset, or you can use the open offset, or I'm sorry, the outlines and offsets, whichever one. All right, they both do the same thing. We're going to select the size. It's going to be a run stitch. Like I said, I'm going to do 3 of them and at 1.5 millimeters. And what's going to happen is it will start here and move out offset 1.5. Then it will offset again 1.5 and then 1.5. And we hit OK. It creates our offsets. Don't worry about the middle bits. Those will never be a factor. Now we just need to decide which one we like. Do we want to go in even more? Let me make these different colors so you can see them. Does that help? Should we go in further, you think? We have room. Or we can just, if we like the distance between our object edge and our offset edge, we can just select the whole thing and move it in some more. Does that work? You like the middle one? Letty likes the middle one. She likes the blue. So let's get rid of the first one. Get rid of the red. And there we go. Yeah, this has got a nice distance between the pieces. Alrighty. Yep, we just move it. Now, we're going to make this a fill. We're going to take our outline and we're going to fill it in. We're going to move it up so that it's underneath the B. And then we're going to create a void. So we select our object, in this case our offset. We do our Control-Shift-E. And I'm going to hide these both so that you can see what happened. And you see it cut out this edge. Now we don't need these little bits here, so we're going to delete them. Now, before we go on, now the question is, well, how do we get the applique? We select our B object and we change it so that it creates satin on the edges, satin columns on the edges. Select the satin setting and then come over here. I like to use a 4 millimeter. Control-Shift-E. Let me bounce over to another screen. Both Cindy and Janice want to talk about the Control-Shift-E. So I'm going to bounce over to another screen real quick. That would be cool. You know, Letty's talking about doing a big W with Walker Woods. Letty, can you imagine putting your tree icon with the cutout? Just a thought. Okay, so let's make a square. Let's make a circle in a different color. Now, the long way to do this, Letty, that's exactly it. Letty's predicting that in our second set of classes that stuff like this is going to be part of our second set of classes, and she's right. So if we select, we want to make a hole in this green box. We want to make a hole. In the old days, previous softwares, it was called Create a Void. In this one, we want to remove the overlap. So we want to keep our top piece, but we want to remove what it's laying on top of. So we can do this a couple of ways. We select that object. We can go up here to, where is it? Arrange. And we can go all the way down here and select Remove Overlaps. We can use the default. We can use the defaults, or we can change those. Right now it's going to give us an overlap of a 0.5 millimeter, which is good. And now we select OK, and we now have a void. We now have a cutout in our circle. Okay, we have our box back. Shortcut. Select the object that you want to use as a cutout. Use your Control-Shift-E function. All three keys at the same time. And it too will create a void. All right? Everybody got that? You are very welcome, Janice. All right, going back to our Bella. Now, maybe I don't like this so much, but you know, we can edit things later. So, with this is our outline. This is our applique outline. We're going to make sure that we have our placement stitch and our tack down stitch. So I'm going to duplicate a shortcut key, Control D and Control D. No, you can have, Cindy wants to know if the Control Shift E function only works if it's sitting on the edge. No, actually, we're going to bounce back here just for a moment. Let me take this circle and make it smaller so it sits right in the middle. All right, Control Shift E. Big hole. Yay! Now let's just say, okay, one more thing with this Control Shift E. Sorry, everybody, we're derailing here. If we use the remove overlap and we change this to a 0, it will default to 10. And we say, let's go ahead and tab, see, it'll default to 10. And we say OK. It will, of course, it would help if I actually hit the right button. Arrange, remove overlap, default to 10, OK. It will create a much narrower gap, so it looks like it's cut exactly on the line, which could be handy if you need to make a cutout, but you want that edge to be exactly where you want that edge. Okay, so enough about that. Oh, one more thing. I know, going on and on. Whatever you set in your object box, your remove overlap box, it will stay until you change it. All right, so if you set it to 0.10 and you go to use your Control Shift E on another object, it'll still be 0.10. So if you want it more, if you want a larger overlay, um, then you need to change the setting. All right. Okay, so let's go back to Bella. So we're going to make sure that we have our placement stitch, which is generally a run stitch. And then we're going to make sure we have our tack down stitch, which I use a triple run stitch. And we're going to put those first, right? First. Thank you. Now we're going to unhide everything else. Unhide all. Okay, so the only thing we have left to do is to delete our offset. And the only reason we had that offset was to create our cut line. And that's it. That is how to do this in your digitizing software. And you can do it in any digitizing software that has the capability to do an offset. Now, there are other ways to do an offset. Uh, you could manually cut things out along the edge, but using the offset makes it quick and easy. So what do y'all think? And of course, we'll make Bella pink because she's just that kind of girl. She's a girly girl. Nice. And if you want more of a gap, obviously you can put more of a gap. Um, and it works. What if I wanted the big B in puff? That would get a little trickier, but it can be done. So after we've done our cutout, let me go back. All right. After we've done our cutout, Control Shift E. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to lock this in place because we don't want it to shift around. Now, remember, in puff, you do have limitations. Remember, you can't go over your 12 millimeters. So make sure you're in millimeter and measure. um, Cindy, this is 57 millimeters. I don't think we're going to be able to do it in puff. But if you wanted to do it in puff and it was small enough, once you have your cutout, you would just create your puff letter using your bridges and your caps and satin stitch with a heavier density and longer stitch. And Doug, I understand why people buy these ready-made or order them special. It's not everybody is in a position that they can afford $300 for the most inexpensive software, or up to $6,000 for the most expensive. And then there's that whole learning curve. What if they only want this one thing? It's worth it to spend a few dollars to get exactly what you want without buying digitizing software. Did Eric do this in his event, his show last night? I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it yet. It's on my Saturday morning to-do list, but of course now I have a water heater issue. Thanks, Jesse. Oh, Cindy's asking what to do if you just want the outline to be a B. Well, here, let's do something else. Unlock all. We're going to want this cutout to be larger because we need to make that B column larger. Let's do an extra 4. Yeah. Fill. Move it. Control Shift E. Delete. We'll get rid of this little bit here. Maybe we'll cut this off too because that's going to be kind of hard to. You know, I don't know why I'm using my mouse here. My tablet works just fine. Edit. Oh, something happened to my B. Break apart. I must have hit the break apart. All right, let's get rid of these little bits. Now, I'm always going to say, if you're going to do puff, you really need to make your border wider. Yes, you can do a 2mm puff. Yes, you can do a 3mm puff, but I like a 5mm puff. Gives you room. You are still going to want to do your placement stitch and your tack down stitch unless you have no intention of doing the applique. And then with this, you're going to get rid of your underlay. And you're going to increase your density for your puff. All right. Oh my goodness. Let me catch up here, people. Doug, you can make a border satin and do a satin puff border. Yep, that's exactly what she was saying. Thanks, Doug. You don't have the time, it's worth it. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Yes, they spent, Doug, yes. People spend a lot of money on their machines. Does not mean they have any interest in learning how to digitize. And that's where we come in. Thank you, Diane. Cindy, I sew all day, so I don't always have time to make and test, even with having the software. Good point. Good point, Cindy. But they often get crappy files. Reviews on Etsy does not mean much as most don't understand what good digitizing is. Several I bought on Etsy all had good reviews, but the files were crappy. And that's because, the good reviews are from maybe people who don't understand what they're getting is not the best that it could be. It does. It will it'll raise it up a little bit. I may need some. Letty, you know I'm here. I'm here for you. Am I caught up? Oh my goodness. I think I am. All right. Before I go, anybody have anything else? Any other thoughts? Any other shares? Wonderful. Now, you know what I get to do? You got it. I get to go decide whether I want a 40-gallon or a 60-gallon water heater. I think what we've got is a 40-gallon downstairs, and it's always done fine. I think that water heater is a little overdue. It's about 20 years old. Yeah. So we're going to change the water heater out, replace the pipe. Cindy, thank you. Thank you so much. And Janice, you're right. We could go tankless. I'm not ready for that kind of investment in this house. I don't expect to be here for that long. You're welcome, Jesse. Thank you so much for being here. I know that whole tankless water heater thing. Thanks, Diane. You have a good weekend too. The whole tankless water heater thing is awesome, but I also want to remodel the bathroom, and the gas water heater, the natural gas water heater, just make sure the closet can hold either size tank. Yep, exactly. Actually, it's kind of in the middle of a floor area next to the furnace, and it's got plenty of up and down room, and it's got plenty of around room. So we're good. All right. You all have a great weekend. I'm so glad you were here today. Um, think about what you want to see next week. If you have a thought, if you have a need, if you have an idea but you're not quite sure how to put it together, just drop me a line, quicktostitch@gmail.com. And if you want to look at the website, it's quicktostitch.com. All right, gonna say goodbye. You all have a great day. I'm gonna go buy a water heater. Bye bye. Fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.